Welcome back to Hollywood on the Green. Today we're going to go behind the scenes of one of the best movies of the year. That's right, we've got our first frontrunner for Best Picture of the year. And I'm going to explain why a little bit later. But first, let's learn a little bit more about the movie. The film tells the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer, who developed the first atom bomb during World War II. Academy Award-nominated director Christopher Nolan, who gave us Dunkirk, The Dark Knight, Inception, delivers a masterpiece. From production design to the screenplay, from his amazing visionary direction to this all-star cast. Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt, Florence Pugh, Rami Malek, and Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer. Unfortunately, the cast will have to stop supporting the movie publicly due to the recent strike by the Screen Actors Guild. In fact, right after their red carpet presence at the London premiere last week, the strike was announced and the cast left the premiere. Let's go behind the scenes of this amazing production and meet this all-star team.
We imagine a future, and our imaginings horrify us.
In the case of this film, I wrote the script in the first person. It's the only time I've done that. It made it clear to anyone who read the script that we're on this ride with Oppenheimer.
It was very unusual. It took me a minute to actually comprehend. And then I realized, oh, that's a huge responsibility.
I don't know if we can be trusted, but I know the Nazis can't.
Cillian playing Oppenheimer was the centerpiece of the film, but I knew that he was going to need the most extraordinary ensemble around him.
Let's go recruit some scientists.
If Chris Nolan calls you and says that he'd like to meet with you, you're like, I don't care what it is.
You'd be mad to say no. I feel like that's probably everybody's answer with this.
From the second I read the script, I knew that he had a very acute vision, and if he were able to render that vision, that this film would be a masterpiece.
All America's industrial might and scientific innovation connected here. Keep everyone there until it's done.
It feels to me like every single character is significant because they're all historical figures of consequence.
There's a chance when we push that button, we destroy the world.
Chances are near zero.
I tried to familiarize myself with Groves and the history, and then talk to Chris about what he needed from that part. Groves was almost like a kindergarten teacher in some respects because these scientists were so eccentric and not necessarily trustworthy. I mean, if you're looking from a military perspective.
Why would we go to the middle of nowhere for who knows how long?
Why? How about because this is the most important thing to ever happen in the history of the world?
I was aware of who Louis Strauss was. I came to have a pretty even-handed understanding of him.
He was a righteous guy. I think he was a great public servant, but he's always behind the scenes. I've always appreciated the people who are backstage.
Truman needs to know what's next.
What's next?
With Kitty Oppenheimer, what I really was drawn to is she refused to conform to the sort of feminine ideal of the time. She had this defiance against the system that felt so modern.
Jean Tatlock was blunt, knew what she wants, but at no point is she ever punished for that, and especially not by Oppenheimer.
Theory will take you only so far.
Oppenheimer sees things in sort of different dimensions. Physicists operate on a completely different level than we do, and I think sometimes it's a burden. So I was really interested in that.
What we were looking for was a remarkably centered performance, the heart of the film, but also an ensemble piece. I was there on set every day, surrounded by a team of actors who knew more than I did about what was going on from their point of view. And that's what you're really looking for as a director.
It's a profoundly moving and overwhelming experience watching it, because you feel so compelled to watch what's happening with these people and how they're drawn into the biggest of moral dilemmas and what they're wrestling with, all of the characters.
With the sound design and the score and the emotionality of it, this is not a film, this is an experience.
When I saw it in its finished form, I was kind of like, wow. Yeah, that's what we were hoping this could be.
The world will remember this day.
So you could see the team was all in on this movie and fully engaged in the moral dilemma it presents. And as I said earlier, I do believe this movie has a great chance to take home the Best Picture Oscar. It really checks all the boxes. with nominations likely in all the major categories. A period piece based on historical facts with social relevance, creative storytelling anchored by a strong screenplay, visionary direction, strong production value and costume design, and a full range of talented actors that are well liked in the industry. And here's why that matters. The Actors Branch of the Academy has over 1,300 members, more than twice any of the other branches. This is one of the reasons why we often see Best Picture winners come from movies with strong performances and acting nominations. Just a few fun facts for you to chew on, though we know it's not all about the awards. The truth is, theaters are hurting. The industry's a mess. With the WGA strike, Screen Actors Guild now on strike, this is a real problem, and we really want these theaters to survive. Oppenheimer is a movie you should see in a theater. It's a collective experience. Mission Impossible, and yes, Barbie, and Oppenheimer can make a big splash at the box office, and that's a good thing. Let's take a look at the trailer.
This is a national emergency.
Detonator charged.
We're in a race against the Nazis. And I know what it means if the Nazis have a bomb.
We have a 12-month head start.
18.
How could you possibly know that?
We've got one hope. All America's industrial might and scientific innovation connected here. A secret laboratory. Keep everyone there until it's done.
Let's go recruit some scientists.
Build a town, build it fast. If we don't let scientists bring their families, we'll never get the best.
Why would we go to the middle of nowhere for who knows how long?
Why? Why? How about because this is the most important thing to ever happen in the history of the world?
You're the great improviser, but this you can't do in your head.
Are we saying there's a chance that when we push that button, we destroy the world?
Chances are near zero.
Near zero.
What do you want from theory alone?
0 would be nice.
This is a matter of life and death. But I can perform this miracle.
World War II would be over. Our boys would come home.
That's happening, isn't it?
The world will remember this day. Our work here will ensure a peace mankind has never seen. Until somebody builds a bigger one.
You are the man who gave them the power to destroy themselves. And the world is not prepared.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Truman needs to know what's next.
2.
What's next?
1.
And that's a wrap for this edition of Hollywood on the Green. Be sure to check the links below for more information on the film. There's some great experiences on their website. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, and I'll see you next time.